Boop.
I don't want to play you.
Well, Billy Mitchell, I
Boop.
hope you'll be happy to know that
Need
Billy
to
Mitchell
adjust a
now
little bit more, methinks. Yeah, we'll need to
makes
a
hot
little bit
sauce.
more. Get a little squeeze a little bit tighter, ladies. There
Oh,
we
that's
go.
fine. Yeah,
Nice and
that's
comfy.
good.
Nice and cozy.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Super Check 64 Pink Eye Edition.
Pink guy edition.
Pink Guy Edition. Here we go. Okay.
Pink guy addiction.
Mm,
And I keep adjusting shit. Oh wait, no, you can see it. I'm just derp. The preview
right.
bar was hiding the logo. So
we
sneaky.
good. We good.
Here we go again on a Monday edition.
Right. I feel like shit. My fucking eye literally makes me feel like shit. I can barely read.
I do notice it now, actually, a little.
I can barely read. I think that, like, my eye or my brain has been straining today to look out of only one eye because one of them is blurry as fuck, so the other one's super focused.
Just get a monocle.
My eyes
to
are
help with
fine.
the
I
focus.
can't really read that. So,
Well.
Okay.
Music would have been epic. For Seat the Scale. Ooh, so Demon's been playing Dark Souls. Always a good choice.
Oh, good.
And yeah, the music, I was actually telling these guys, the band name is Dwayne and Brando. They were actually the first nerdcore group I ever heard of back in the day. We heard their rendition of Mega Man 2 is what you heard just now, and they've done a bunch of others that are really fucking good, but that Sonic and Final Fantasy are the three songs that I love, that they've done, that I love the most. They're not quite as active anymore nowadays, but they're still out there. Pretty neat. And also, we have a third guy today.
Yes,
Hi.
we do. Adam, and he has a name tag, unlike Tyler last week.
We
Oh, well,
Yeah.
special.
it
Yes.
took me all of 2 minutes to throw it together, so I hope you appreciate my
good,
hard
good.
work.
I'm glad you used
It-
the correct font.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part, actually, was finding it. It's like, I know it's here somewhere.
I think
Fit
it's,
in,
what is
it's
it?
good.
It's like P2, press start.
Or I think it's just called
Press start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that now. I
So-
did not know that 30 minutes or 20 minutes ago.
Right.
Yay, fonts.
Right. I found getting fonts is a very cool thing. I actually recently got the Warcraft font. I've been
Oh shit.
fucking around with that.
Yep.
It looks pretty awesome. So.
Sounds metal. That sounds metal.
But anyways, yeah. So we'll start with Adam this week since he's our nice guest on kind of the games we've been going through this past week and anything in particular.
Well, I've been playing Metal Gear Solid pretty much exclusively.
Metal Gear Solid.
Phantom Pain.
Oh.
The game that actually does, believe it or not, have his name all over it. All over it the whole time
It
you're
does,
playing it.
yeah.
At least he got credit in the game.
Yep.
Right. He didn't get credit outside of the game on the box
I do-
or anything. But
I do love, though, that every mission opens with, like, here's the credits of who is in this mission.
yeah.
Like, here's this part of the story by Hideo Kojima. Here's this part of the story. Hideo Kojima.
In case you
So,
forgot.
Yes.
you know what? At this point, I'm like, alright, good. You know, I actually am alright that he did that just because that was a good way to make sure that we all remembered
Yeah.
Right.
who did this. But outside of that, yeah, it's been a fantastic game. I've really enjoyed it. It's just, I don't know, it's addictive, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I've heard.
Slightly repetitive, but because it's so fun, like, the repetitiveness hasn't
Right.
gotten to me
Well,
yet.
there's a lot of repetitiveness as far as any other Metal Gear Solid game, anyways. I mean, it's a lot of
Crawling around. It's a
Crawling
lot of
around.
crawling around.
It's
Yeah.
a Metal Gear Solid game then.
It is a Metal Gear Solid game.
And then the cutscene comes, and you know you can put your controller down for a little bit and go get popcorn, like, and it's gonna be a 20
You don't want to watch the
cutscene.
cutscene?
I love the cutscenes.
Okay.
They're part of my favorite part of it. Pretty
God,
much.
I have I've watched the entirety of that game. So I've watched a person or multiple people play it. I've kind of been segmented, but God damn, I love that game. Like I really do. And the reason I watched it in its entirety is because I sincerely doubt I'll be buying it within the next year.
You
So,
wanted
like,
the story.
and I wanted it. Yeah, I wanted
I
the story,
did
and
too.
I even did the data mine stuff. So like the people that have
Ooh.
data mine like the extra scenes and stuff. So, but
Good
yeah,
shit, good
fuck,
shit.
it's good.
D-Man, you're correct. We said we were gonna do Tuesday, and then Justin had to be the had to pull a classic
I
Alex. He had to pull it Alex.
I did.
Gosh,
I,
that crazy guy.
I got to work on a computer tomorrow. So.
Ooh, lucky guy.
I'm just kidding. That's not too bad. But yeah. So Metal Gear Solid taking up all of your time.
Pretty much. That's well, the video game time. I'm mostly.
Yeah.
I'm a tabletop
Right.
gamer, man.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Understandable.
Dice take up my time.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true tabletop gamer. So how about you, Alex?
How about me, Alex? Played actually a good number of games this weekend. The past few weekends were very busy with stuff, so this weekend I was able to actually relax and play games with friends. Played through the majority of the new content for Starbound, which is just as addicting and delicious as the previous updates have been. So
Right.
that has not changed. Those would
Good.
be happy to hear that.
I think I'm gonna get Starbound soon.
It's fucking
You should
good.
let me know. I haven't played it in a little while.
Right.
So all that new content I haven't gotten
Yeah.
ordered.
I would not be opposed to playing through it again.
I think Jeremy has a server actually.
He does. Well,
running.
I don't know if he has it running, but he's made one in the past.
Pretty sure if we called,
He
he would be
probably-
more than
Yeah.
willing to put it
He'd
in.
be like,
Right.
boop, or you're good. Yep. Yeah. Knowing him, knowing Jeremy.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that game, I fucking love that game. And we've talked about this before, but like the line between Starbound and Terraria is still uncanny, but it's really coming into its own really well.
Is it?
So it's
Good.
they're pretty distinguishable nowadays.
Awesome.
Not so much when it first
I
happened.
still feel like they're more group games though. I've never really been able to
Yes.
sit down and enjoy it on my own.
Yeah.
I have to
Right.
have
Oh, absolutely.
other people,
They're-
even if we're not doing the same things. It's just
Yeah.
so
I
I
feel
can
like
talk
they're
to you.
definitely a group game.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of like Minecraft. Like Minecraft can definitely be a solo game, but you want to see like your shit come to fruition.
Mhm.
So like you want other people to see like your shit, and you
Oh,
want
yeah.
them to come visit your
come,
shit.
come check out my stuff.
You
and
wanna
then
go
I'll come look at
digging with
your
you-
stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
You want to go like mining with each other and
Yep.
shit. You want to visit like the dungeons and stuff. So totally a multiplayer game.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's
Absolutely.
definitely.
The big one though, as it was last week, is the Secret World. I've been
Oh
diving
yeah,
even
I've
more and more into
seen
that.
you quite a bit on Steam
Oh, yeah.
on Secret World.
Yeah, I think I'm up to 175 hours
Jeebus.
totally, and we're only like, I think we're close to halfway through the 4th issue. And to review, the game comes with the first 3 issues. They released the 12th issue a couple.
How much
months
is
back.
there? How much is the issue? Is it free? Is it a free update? Or
They're
is
not
it
free updates.
Okay, so it's a DLC.
So they're expansion packs or DLC. what have you.
Expansion.
Yeah.
This is more.
Uh,
If they've got a lot of content to them, it's fair to call them that.
It is
Right.
staggering because we've made it through less than a fourth of the game, and I'm nearing the 200-hour mark, and there's just like, we still feel like the game is only now starting to open up, and we're starting to see a lot of the game involves some like really depressing and like really amazing writing and really cool shit, but like really like H.P. Lovecraftian levels of horror
Okay.
and like terrible things happening to like normal people. And we just yesterday actually we went through this part of the story. This is part of the main story, mind you, that takes place in what I would best describe as like a youth center for teenagers, that kind of thing. And you start to see signs of this thing that the game. There's a lot of names for it, but a lot of the things in the game refer to it as the filth. You see a lot of signs that the filth has influenced
Like
certain
hippies?
parts. That's a different kind of filth. But that the filth has like influenced some parts of this youth organization. There's like the youth club, and I don't want to give it too much away, but like there are signs that like some super awful things have happened to these kids, and you go through the story and you keep finding more notes and more journal entries, not only confirming your suspicions but like opening it up and like, oh dear God, it's so much worse. And I actually have a screenshot queued up that I
Oh,
took.
good.
If you will indulge me.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
John knows what's up. How's it going, dude?
What's up?
Oh, Broken made it.
But let's see. I've got the bruiser up, and boom. So what you see here is that when we first entered the youth center, it was all completely dark. The power was out. Also, let me double check to make sure you guys can actually see that shit. You can. Cool. So the power was out, and so but the chairs were not like that. When we first entered,
Let's
the
say this
chairs.
obelisk of
The
chairs.
chairs were completely like scattered about as you would expect around tables. When we flipped the power, we turned around and the chairs were like this, and we were like,
like
"Oh,
this.
that's fucking weird." And then we look up, and we see shadows of something along the ceiling, and we couldn't quite tell what it was. But as we went further into the story and ascended the levels, we began to understand what it was, and it was the kind of thing where like afterwards we were all just kind of like, "Fuck, man, I would like hug a puppy or something." Like it was really fucking good. I mean, it's a sign of a good game if it's able to get under your skin like that.
Now,
but
how many people do you play with in this?
there's 4 of us.
There's 4 of
There's
them.
4 of
Oh,
us.
Man,
Is that like
that's
a max?
fucking awesome.
Is that like a max party?
The max party size, well, I don't really know if there's a max party. I mean, I'm sure there is. We haven't seen it if there is a max party size, but there are raids or rather dungeons that you have to go through as a group
Okay.
that allow up to 5 players, but there are 10-player dungeons that require no less than 10 players. And we've never seen those because there's like 4 of us. So we're able to go through 5 dungeons for the most part with relative ease because we're like pretty high up there, like with having good stuff and good numbers. But there's a lot of shit that we haven't seen because we don't have the bulk of it.
Good numbers.
Yeah.
That's how RPGs work.
That is
when
how
you have
RPGs
good numbers,
work,
you
yeah.
win games.
You see, I knew you'd understand. So
Absolutely.
so if either of you, handsome gentlemen, would ever want to join in on some Secret World action,
I'm sure.
Quite possibly. I've
That,
heard quite a bit about it. You're not the only person
yeah.
that I've heard talking about it.
yeah, because Jeremy has played it.
Friend Jess from the Fantasy Shop, actually, she said some customers came in and recommended it to her, and she started playing it, and she's really into it too.
Very cool.
So it's like, just hearing her, like, she compared it to some comic books, actually, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, now I might have to look into more into this, because I've heard another buddy talk a lot about it.
It's good.
Very cool.
It's good, and it's filled with what I described were like awful things happening to people, and it's probably tied with Eternal Darkness as being like the best written game I've ever played. It's
Really?
like just really good writing, really good story, and very lots of lore where things are hinted at but not quite fully described. Kind of like in Dark Souls, how that's like to D.
Dark Souls is one of the fucking most difficult things to understand.
It is. It is.
Because they haven't really specifically stated anything,
Yep.
and a lot of it is just speculation, I guess, but really good speculation.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's I guess it's just a way you interpret the fucking game yourself. That's just kind of how it goes.
Story builds you.
Well,
It really
yeah,
does,
it really
I
does.
guess. Yeah,
It will.
I guess that's a good way to put it.
It is.
I tried to go through like the wiki pages. I'm just
Oh God, good luck.
I'm getting fucking lost.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is
There are entire subreddits dedicated to trying to
I'm sure.
understand the Dark Souls lore.
Like, because they still don't understand, like, the fucking old king and, like, all of his knights and shit. They're
Yep.
still trying to get through that. And then his son, who was apparently actually his daughter. And
Gwendolyn.
Then, yes.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, because this
Jesus.
this conversation could go for years.
I
Not
spent,
with
like,
me, I don't
a whole
know anything about
day...
it.
I spent a whole day at work, like, just, like, YouTube videos on, like, just fucking a constant playlist. And I was just like,
It's intense.
It is.
I don't get this.
I really want to understand the lore of this world a lot.
I do. I really do, because it's a very cool
It is.
world.
It sounds like it's equivalent to trying to understand the Zelda timeline.
Oh, it's very
it's-
legit. Very legit.
yeah,
comparison.
When did this happen? Oh, between here and here, but only if this happened.
But then there's the third timeline split. And
Right, and then but let's split that again.
Yep.
Right. At least maybe the beginning of Zelda is kind of easy to understand, but once you get past like Ocarina,
Once Ocarina happens, shit goes out the fucking
people,
bonkers window.
Yeah, there's too many splits.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Ladies. Oh well.
Maybe one day they'll all come to a culmination, and
Ooh.
all the Links will fight all the Ganondorfs.
Oh shit! And then it's Super Zelda Brothers.
What's the Dynasty Warriors one that came out?
Dude,
Oh.
yeah, new Hyrule
See,
Warriors.
that's what the new Hyrule Warriors is going to be. So like this is the first one, and then they're just
yeah.
building up, and then soon it's just going to be all these timeline Links
God.
against all these timeline Ganondorfs.
And they get
The cell-shaded one shows
Yep.
up, just looks at everyone else and goes, "What the hell, guys?"
actually what he says is, "Hey,
yeah, I guess that's all he wants to say. Isn't it?
Yep.
What is the what is it? Total War? Is like Rome Total War?
Yep. Oh god, we need that with.
They're gonna make that with the Zelda franchise.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do.
I don't know how well that would go.
awesome.
That would be an interesting theme.
That would be
Like,
interesting.
There's
if
like a
it was.
total of like 30 Hylians
Oh.
left, and
There is something that happened. this
7
weekend
Gerudo
that I
women.
actually forgot about. The Battlefront beta was
Beta.
this. Did you get to play it at all?
I didn't know. But
I
a couple-
did. You didn't miss anything at all. As with every EA beta, they had a lot of issues with
Yeah,
connection
right.
things. So I wasn't a real big fan of Battlefield for one reason. I hated that when you start the game, you have one rifle, no pistol, and no grenade or nothing. You just have that one rifle,
Yep.
and you have to play like 20 matches before you get your pistol and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
They did that with Battlefront, which I was not real happy about.
Yeah.
It was just
Gross.
like, oh,
They
cool.
gotta have a way to keep you in the game. You gotta.
Well, what it did
gotta
for
let
me,
you work for
what
it.
it did for me is I finally got into a game, and then I got up on original. Was like, oh, time to play. Dead. Okay, cool. Respawn. Walk out this room. Dead. And it was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is really cool. And then I'm looking at the gear and the guys that are beating me. I'm like, oh, they must have been playing this beta since like midnight when it came out. Because it was
I'm
like,
sure.
I'm like, frustration.
Yeah, because Tyler said that he played it, and he said that he was having a great time. So I'm
Mhm.
sure he was one of the people who probably got probably got
One of
on
the
the
reasons
midnight
I was suddenly
button.
just dead.
Right.
Yep.
So
Killed by Tyler.
I've heard of a couple good people saying that they
Right.
really enjoyed it, but I'm sitting here going, yeah, but did you enjoy it because it's Star Wars and you wanted to enjoy it?
I think that's the majority of it. And the
because-
game does look good. I will
It does.
say that
It
the
was
game,
pretty.
the game looks pretty, and the gameplay looks fun. but I think the mechanics of it are.
I
kinda
enjoyed
a
the
little
solo.
interesting.
They gave a single player.
I saw that too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
Like, that part
That
I
was
had
cool.
fun with. I think if I could build up a set of gear, I probably could have kept playing it.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't want to put the time in, especially with it
Yeah.
being a beta, and me just thinking, oh, if I grind for 20 hours, it'll just be
Right.
gone.
Yeah.
Thanks,
They're just gonna
EA.
wipe it, yeah. Fuck that.
Well, especially because they said that too. Like
Yeah.
if they would have been like, well, you get to keep all of your stuff when the game came out, I'd been like, all right,
Yeah.
worth.
I'd consider it.
Time goes like 15 ways in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, D-Man.
Oh, they did the
Um,
split timeline thing too.
They do just weird timeline stuff. It's hard
Yeah.
to understand.
Because there's like
yeah.
the original. So there was like one dragon that split off and. I don't
Dude,
know.
I don't
It's
fucking know. I've only
Don't
played the
try to
first
explain
one.
it to me. I don't. It's another setting. There's
Yeah.
so many of those.
Right.
You know. What you been playing, Justin?
Well, I've played probably about 60 hours of Don't Starve together.
I love that game.
I made a dedicated server last week, so
Mhm.
I was actually running a server through Steam's cool feature, their new command prompt feature.
Oh,
Basically
cool,
runs
yeah.
a very small version of Ubuntu, or runs a very small version of Linux, I should say.
Oh.
So, and it allows you to run specific servers. So I used it to run the Don't Starve server. Weird thing happened though. Every time I started the Don't Starve server, Amanda's wireless would fucking cut out entirely.
Really?
It was very weird, and I was like, "This is so fucking puzzling."
Yeah.
Because I was just gonna build the server so that she could log in time.
Mhm.
I had it set up to when someone would join, it would unpause and continue, so we could continuously build. But yeah, did not work out.
Hmm.
But I had one going, so that's
We got there.
Good
it,
test,
it
good
was going
test.
there. But yeah, we've spent a piss ton of time in that game.
Yep.
Lots of deaths. It's like Dark Souls, I guess, in a sense that it's not if you'll die, but when you'll die, because
Yeah.
you will die in that game.
You might
every
even
time.
surf.
So right.
It
so,
might happen.
And we're coming up to the end of the game though, because I think we've pretty much built everything. So
Really?
we've pretty much got everything. I think the last stuff we need to do is start the magic items, and then the really good armor that you get
Yeah.
from the Thalassite or whatever it's called. So that's pretty much all we got. And I had enough to make a full armor set. Could not find the fucking crafting table for the Thalassite,
Oh,
which
nice.
is like in one of the cave biomes. It's like
Oh. okay.
underground and like this old Aztec shit. The mods I've installed actually make it to where you can have cave biomes in multiplayer.
Oh, I was actually gonna ask this. Like, oh, I didn't think they'd added caves. in
Right, they didn't.
it. Okay.
But the way that they do it, the way they manipulate it, they manipulate the files to where it automatically puts the biome into the game.
Mhm.
You don't have to go into a cave. So randomly you'll just be running, and then also you see this like giant pillar that is supposed to technically be holding up something, like you're in a cave, but you're just like, well, this is out in the open.
Close enough.
But it gives you the biome.
Cool.
So that's
Very cool.
That's good enough.
Have you survived spring?
Yeah, we've survived spring, we've survived winter, obviously autumn because that's the easiest one to survive.
Spring always.
We
fucks us
haven't
up.
we haven't done summer yet. We're almost to summer in this current one. Spring is so fucking difficult because
Yeah.
the rain.
You
The
freeze to
rain
death.
absolutely just fucking mutilates you. Yeah, the good thing about that is we've made so many fucking beefalo hats
Oh,
that we just don't freeze anymore.
That's
so
good.
that's good.
that is good.
The rain is the big thing. We've had to
Yeah.
create a bunch of umbrellas, but yeah, when we get to summer, that's going to be a whole new ballpark because this will be our second
It'll
run
melt.
through spring.
Yeah.
So we know kind of what we're doing. We haven't dealt with summer yet, so I know we were going to have to probably build endothermic
Yeah.
fires and
Yes. Ice cubes forever.
right, ice cubes for everybody. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Good old time.
And then the other game I was playing is, of course, I found a new WoW private server.
Ooh.
Of course, One
For what?
that's
Never will quit the WoW crack.
I can't. It's too fun to me.
It's like, man, this version's not fun. I'm gonna go play vanilla on a private server.
Yep.
Well, we were playing vanilla. The bad thing about vanilla is it is murderous to try to get to 60. So like, grinding is just not fun anymore because I think
Yeah.
they've melted me into their new kind of system. So they just opened this new Wrath of Lich King server about a month ago, and it's got this timed release for expansion. So right now, only people can level up to 60. They'll eventually release 70, which is like next month, 2 months away, and then they'll release the 80 content. Basically, it's a way of quarantining like bugs and stuff like that
Yeah.
before we can actually get to it. Yeah, so far it seems incredibly stable. It's 100% Blizz-like, and there's no donation rewards. So
Nice. I
that's
can
what
dig
we're-
it.
What we're doing now, we're gonna give it a little test and
I can
See
dig
how
This
it.
is
it goes.
something. it's free, obviously. Right?
Oh yeah, it's super free.
Might
Yeah,
have to
it's-
look into that.
It is incredibly fun. We when we played the vanilla one, my shaman is only 40, and I've played about 6 days on it.
I always liked Warcraft. It was just another one of those games that if I didn't have somebody on to play with, I didn't really want to play.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that. Yeah. The only way I'm really playing these is because me and Eric are like this weird fucking feed combo where he's like, "Hey, man, you want to do this crack?" And I'm like, "I don't really want to, but okay." And then I do it.
Load me up.
And then like 3 months later, I'm like, "Hey, Eric, you want to do this crack with me?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I've been itching for it too, man." And then he does it with me. So it's like it's just a constant thing.
And then you
so-
play World of Warcraft afterwards.
And then we play World of Warcraft afterwards. So.
I see D-Man's referencing a screenshot I took of Don't Starve Together where it was raining. I had a drying rack, and it was a wet dry rack. And I was
Amazing.
like, this is screenshot worthy.
Amazing.
And I deemed it so.
Oh yeah, everything gets fucking wet now.
Dude,
man.
fucking spring is the worst.
But
Why do
one
you
good thing that comes out of
Ugh,
spring
hate
is if you have the electric rod, the Morning Star. If you have the Morning Star, it does a piss ton of damage because everything's wet and it does double damage to wet
That
things.
is
So
good to know. I've
um,
not even seen the Morning Star.
it is very cool.
Sounds delicious.
We're getting ready to kill a fucking
Yo, Eric.
dragonfly, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, those things are... I just wouldn't.
Ran into a ruins. Have you ever ran into an ancient guardian?
I think so.
They're a bull on two
Yes,
legs.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally crush everything in front of them.
Yes.
They
yes.
are good if you want to mine stuff and you don't have a pick because
Yeah.
they just fucking mow it over.
Yes,
and
they
you
do.
just, you just pick up the
They
remnants. but,
absolutely
yeah.
do.
Don't Starve is a very fun game, though.
It is.
I really like it. One thing I wanted to mention was I found out today that the people that made Don't Starve and another developer, I can't think of where he's from, are making a weird game called like Fire Protector or something like that. Basically, you play
Firewatch?
Firewatch.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard it's going to be pretty... Or it looks like it's
It
going to be pretty
looks
slick.
very interesting. I watched IGN did this weird playthrough
Mhm.
for like 10 minutes or something like that.
Are you a firefighter?
Kinda.
You're like
It's
watching
a-
over I guess a national park
Yeah, you're watching over.
to watch for fires.
I was
forest
wondering
fires.
what the fuck it was about, but I think it's more or less, it's going to become a mystery. It's like
Yeah.
a mystery game
Yeah.
because like when he got back to like at the end of this like 10-minute demo that they
Mhm.
were going through, when he got back to his tower, it was broken into and
Yeah.
he was getting pissed off, and I think at that point it's going to turn into like a mystery type deal, but also dealing with like telling kids to not fucking shoot fireworks off and shit. So
Because then you'll die.
it looks good though. It
does look good.
The art style reminds me of Team Fortress
Yes,
too.
I was thinking
it,
that,
a
yep.
lot like that. So
Looks pretty slick.
and
Love
yeah,
story-driven stuff.
Eric, yeah, true. Yeah, our feeding methods are the same. Hey,
Yep.
did we convince Brad to play? I'm sure
Play World of Warcraft.
Well, he was playing vanilla, and the thing is, we all stopped after the LAN in August.
Okay.
Because we did PvP there, and then like we had a bunch of stuff going on. I went on vacation,
Mhm.
and then when I came back, no one had played for 4 weeks, and then at that point, it's already out of your system. And
Yeah.
You just continue on.
The
with
crack
life.
has absorbed
So,
itself.
Yeah. Now that I found this, I have to encapsulate Brad back in.
Assemble the
Assemble
the team. The
Mhm.
the Aqua Teen Hunger Force assemble.
Right. So yeah.
Alright.
All right.
Topic time? We're only halfway
Topic
through.
time. Yeah. So we'll get started here. Well, one that you have on here. Well, potential voice actor strike. So I've been reading that they were started.
Okay.
You have told me that they have the ability to start.
To
technically.
strike, yeah.
So
That was what I read.
That's
a few
what
days
I've heard. Is that they have the ability? They voted that they have the choice to now, and then they were going to the
Okay.
negotiation tables with that in mind.
Yeah.
That they have the ability to say, "Well, we're going to go on strike."
what is the cause of the strike? Like, what are they striking for?
Payment.
Yeah.
I think the argument is that if a game sells like 3 million or 4 million copies, they believe that the voice actors who were part of it should get a part of that revenue.
They definitely should. I think so. I think that's
Especially
a
if
good
they were paid something like a couple $100 to do
Which is
a major
probably
part.
the case, yeah.
like playing games with say like Troy Baker as doing
Yeah.
any type of voice acting. He deserves all the money because like
Every bit.
he deserves every bit. That like
Every cent.
he does really good work, and he like researches like the backstory of the person. He
Mhm.
researches like where they're from, and he gets that fucking accent
He
pretty
does.
goddamn well.
He does.
So like in Persona 4, he does the voice of this guy named Kanji. Fucking flawless, man.
Oh, yeah?
He perfectly pinpoints like a micro, like a very skinny badass,
Nice.
basically. But he does awesome. And then, man, any other game he's ever fucking... He was in Batman. I think he did the oh, fuck, who did he do? I think he did...
Every character.
Yep.
He did, like, the Arkham Knight and
cool.
stuff like that. So, man, he was fucking good. And I think he did the Joker in the previous Batman prior to the newest one,
Oh, that's cool.
if that makes any sense.
I can dig it.
It's the Batman I didn't play,
I
I
should
should say.
say.
So I think it was Arkham
City?
That sounds right.
I think City was the third.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because there was...
Oh no, Origins. It was Origins.
Origins.
Sorry,
Okay.
Origins. Yeah, Origins. That's the one he voiced.
Oranges. Batman Origins.
But
Oranges.
also, I mean, he did like, fucking Joel in. I can't even think of the name now. I keep wanting to say "Don't Starve." God damn it. Fucking Joel. It was Joel and Ellie, and they were fucking. God damn it! It's on PS.
Last of Us?
Yes.
There
thank
it is.
you.
Hey, we got there.
Whew, shit.
What a
So he
roller
did
coaster.
Joel, in that, and he did Flawless. He did Booker in fucking Bioshock Infinite.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely flawless. So yeah, he's
I've
got.
played none of the games you've made. It's great. Like as you're going through, I'm just like, didn't play that.
Waiting,
Nope, didn't
just
play
waiting
that
for one.
I was waiting for one that I was
Well,
familiar with to be like, oh, okay, that's who it is.
Everyone needs to play Bioshock Infinite. That is a fact.
Well, I haven't played any of the Bioshock.
You don't need to.
So. All right.
Just start with Infinite.
You only really need to understand where the setting was in Bioshock.
The
1.
town under the water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all you need to know.
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody.
Rapture.
Rapture.
I think it was Rapture.
Rapture.
Rhapsody. The
Rhapsody in Blue.
So yeah, no, voice actors, they're a pretty big part of the games typically. So.
Yeah, I'd say so. They like when they change a voice actor for a character, you notice right
yeah.
away.
Yeah. Well, I know we've talked in the past where it's like voice actors in games it's kind of an unsung thing
Yeah.
that doesn't always get appreciated. Like a really good voice actor is really good. A really bad voice actor is something you complain about.
Yes.
I complain about it. When voice acting is bad, it's like, oh, this is awful. When it's good voice acting, like it fits so well, you almost don't notice it. It's like good game design. When a game is designed well, it's not supposed to be obvious. It's supposed to be natural.
Right.
So yeah, I think they should give more
when
recognition.
Tyrion Lannister decided to do voice acting for
Ooh, Peter Dinklage.
yes, when Peter Dinklage did voice acting
Yeah.
for Destiny, I am saying it's not his fault. I will say that I want to believe it's not his
I want
fault
to
because
believe.
he's a pretty good actor.
He is. He's a really good actor.
And I want to believe that's not his fault for them telling him, hey, you should probably sound like a robot. And then that's what he did.
A very uninterested robot.
Yes. Because, his voice acting was so
It
dull
was
in that
so
game.
boring.
And as you said, they are completely... It's one of those games where they're completely getting him out.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the person coming in to do the voice acting.
Christopher Walken.
No, I wish.
I wish.
For
So-
what game?
Destiny.
I think it's Nolan North is actually coming in
Oh,
and
really?
doing redoing all of Peter Dinklage's.
That sounds right.
Peter Dinklage was in Destiny.
He
Yeah,
was.
he
He
was.
did the ghost voice, which was a very major point of the story.
Like narrator, I guess.
he
Is
was
that how you
technically the
describe it?
narrator, yeah. And
Gotcha.
so Peter North's coming in. He's redoing all that, and then also going forward, all the expansions that will have the ghost will be Nolan North.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I don't know. I it's always weird when strikes are being
Yeah.
a word that's whispered because that can fuck stuff up.
Well, yeah, if you lose the majority of voice actors, what games... Well, AAA titles will be crippled. Indie titles won't necessarily
titles
have...
No, I think it does be fine.
Might be
Yeah,
a good
AAA
time
titles.
to be an indie developer. Be like,
Right.
oh, well, everybody else is on pause for now. At least if they have voices, Zelda's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To that, I'll have to
Can
say.
we just Can we
Hit.
just scream 3 things into the microphone and then we use those?
Well, it's actually funny you say that. That's, from what I understand, one of the big catalysts for the strike is that, like, these voice actors, it's not always nice, soft-spoken things. Sometimes
No.
they have to, like, earth blood-shattering screams that will, fuck up your vocal cords and cause you to, not be able to do certain voice acting roles for maybe a number of weeks in some cases. And that's the kind of shit where it's like, yeah, there needs to be some sort of, like, the pay needs to be commensurate with the type of voice acting. It can't just be a flat rate. If you want me to do, like, deliver 30 screams in an hour, alright, but you better pay me, motherfucker. Like, pay me a reasonable amount for it. So that, I think, is also one of the big things, is that they want it to be,
They do a
par.
lot. They do a lot of work, like a very long man hours of work. Because
yeah.
like when I was thinking of like
like the
Persona,
dog.
Someone likes your dog.
His name is Dexter.
yes,
Yep.
That extra.
I should
I like
give him
the
a little
Doge.
nameplate.
We should. Alex, and then right above yours is
Oh.
Dexter.
Yep.
But I want it to be overlaid so you actually can't read either of
Let's just make the webcam focus only on him.
them. Okay.
And we'll get
fine.
all the views. All the views.
Oh my
You gotta
god.
put him in little clothes.
Yeah. A little
Newscaster
link
clothing.
outfit.
Yes.
Ooh,
We-
even better.
That's a good one. Yeah, we
I
should
like
do
that.
a suit and
little
tie.
microphone.
Oh
Give
man,
him Ron
we're
Burgundy.
definitely not the generation that grew up on the internet.
No.
Give him
Not
Ron
at all.
Burgundy hair.
We should dress up Dexter as the scout from Team Fortress. That's what I really want.
There we go.
Just give him the headset, like the ShamWow guy, and we'll be good.
You're gonna love my nuts. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna love my nuts.
I thought, top hat.
That was the slap
Top
chop.
head monocle. Slap shot.
Yeah, the slap chop.
Slap
Yeah, that's
chop.
right.
Yep.
You're gonna love my
what was
nuts.
the-
ShamWow.
No, he had the other one too. That it took hair off things.
Punching a hooker.
Oh,
not that.
no, that's the sticky buddy.
Yeah, no, the
Sticky buddy.
Yeah.
What's
What's
that,
sticky
Sticky buddy? my
I
little
got some-
sticky.
I got some pussy hair over here.
Yes.
Get that shit on it.
Djibouti Dubs is one of the best fucking people.
I love when
on the
he's
internet.
for not your best moments, and they show him going to jail. At the
Yes.
Yep.
It's like you're playing that so
Yeah.
hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He embraces it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily want the strike to happen, but I mean, I don't want them to back if they feel it's necessary. I don't want them to be bullied out of it. If that's like
Oh.
what they need to do,
Yeah.
go for it, man.
Right.
Godspeed.
I just don't want it to hinder any type of, current productions, I guess. So
Well,
It's gonna hard.
That's
not
it's going
be.
to.
that's the risk. That's the calculated
Right.
risk, and publishers, probably mainly publishers, are going to have to be the ones that decide. Like, all right, they want so many dollars, and we're going to lose this. Projections say that we're going to lose this many sales if this goes down, and it's going to hit our publicity. Like, it's going to hit us bad in PR and our reputation.
I think it's going to hit them bad in PR more than it would like 10 years ago because
Yeah.
voice acting now is such a huge part of that people are household names. Like I was just naming off people like Nolan North and Troy Baker. Like 10 years ago, I would have known a fucking voice actor from anyone.
Yeah.
You
Because
know?
that 10 years ago, the voice acting in video
True.
games was really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Right.
video, well, not bad, just dated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, 10 years ago, we were still playing on graphics that, we were excited when new graphics came out. Now I don't. Graphics isn't what we talk about
10 years
anymore.
ago was 2005, by the way.
That's still,
There was,
It was
I
Halo-
just want you to know that. I just want
It's
you to know Xbox was out.
yeah, like Halo 2. Have you looked at Xbox's graphics lately?
those were dark
When you
times.
when you
Those
look
were
at it
dark
compared to now, and you realize how much we've come in
Oh,
like
yeah.
10 years, it's like, all right, well, graphics isn't even a focal point really that
Yep.
often anymore. Like, sure they talk about explosions and stuff, and like, oh, there's all this stuff going on the screen, but it's not usually the center anymore. Now
Yeah.
it's gameplay and like. What really cool new mechanic are they introducing? What didn't they introduce? That's more the topics, and I
Yep.
like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I am way more into that.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people are too. honestly.
But then there is the times now where I notice if it doesn't look polished, if it doesn't look pretty, I'm immediately like, you guys.
We're kinda
It's
spoiled.
excusable in some cases.
Yeah, it is.
AAA titles, it is not excusable.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think if you have a AAA title, that bastard should be fucking
Gorgeous.
Sure.
Delicious.
pure polished. Like,
Yes.
just fucking.
At least in the art style it's done in, because it's also not to say, like, I like when they do the unique art stuff.
Yeah.
Like, to me, when the shell-shaded stuff was being done a lot, I was like, but it's an art style, so I guess, that's the way they wanted it to
Yeah.
look. So, okay, fine.
Yep.
Me, I like the ultra gritty, realistic, let's put a gray shade on everything.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think there was a game. Was it the number 13? I think is.
No.
we're
Oh,
calling
the
it.
one where you go through and you got amnesia or whatever.
You have
and gotta-
amnesia.
I
That was
love
a fucking
that
beautiful
game.
It was.
It even had a comic series that went along with it. They never finished it though.
TV
Oh.
show too.
Did
Actually,
they?
There
Really?
was a 20-episode TV show that came out that
Wow.
followed the plot of that game, and only like the thing is they never allude to that. What it is.
Yeah.
But as I'm watching it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is gonna happen, and then it did, and I'm like, this is that
Shit,
game.
yeah.
Like,
That is awesome. You'll have to tell. You have to like give me. A
I'm
link
pretty
to
sure
something
it
like
was
that.
called 13.
Really?
Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure even
Yeah,
the
it
show was called 13.
That game was so fun. It was very fun. The story was very cool too. I
It's
like.
also old. Wasn't it
It is
like
kinda old.
Xbox?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so
the original
it was a-
Xbox.
Probably roughly 10 years ago, if not more.
And cell shaded.
We were getting old.
Nah.
Very cool multiplayer too.
That is cool. That's cool shit.
Um.
Oh man. So
Yep.
yeah, strike. I don't know. We'll
now,
see what happens.
Now that we've talked about polish and all that jazz and stuff like that, let's talk about fun glitches.
yes,
Oh,
when a
let's talk
game
about
breaks in a
Shit,
fun way.
games, yeah, when they break and they're fucking enjoyable.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything that comes from fucking Goat Simulator that I've just
Yeah.
Yeah.
seen, that is just pure
I was
That
about to
game
say,
is
if it
one
came
that
out of
works.
anything that was done in Source, usually there's some interesting glitches
Yeah,
in any
right.
Source game.
Usually. Yeah, the Goat Simulator is one big playable glitch. fucking love that game
It's a
so
feature.
much. Oh, the whole game is a feature.
Yeah.
Not a bug, it's a feature. I love it. Yeah, and that's what sparked me adding that to the list was because at one point we brought up Goat Simulator last week, so I was like,
Yeah.
I need a way to weasel Goat Simulator in. I need a way to Goat Simulator.
There's glitches like Goat Simulator embraces the glitches and they
Yeah.
even keep them. You
Yep.
know, like they keep a lot of the glitches that happen. Like of course game breaking stuff they fix.
Yeah, if the game crashes, that's something
Right.
they try to avoid.
But like there's some stuff that are just fun that happens and they just
Yep.
keep it in.
Yep.
One of them was Magicka. When Magicka first started, there was
Yes.
the one, and it was literally it would crash you to the desktop every time. So like, you would like hit this button combination that was a spell, and it would immediately fucking close your game and put you to the desktop. And then they added a spell called Crash to Desktop after they patched that, and it would literally bring up a blue screen of death over the enemy and then close them out.
Yep. Or either an enemy or a player.
Or a player, yeah.
Or yourself.
It was random.
It was
random targeting.
Yeah.
So like you would do Crash to Desktop, and then it would just come over you and then swallow you.
That game seemed intense and a lot of fun, but I
Yeah.
could never get my fingers to do what I wanted to actually do ever in it.
It becomes muscle memory after a while
Yeah.
because like you get used to the spells and then you get the spell that you really like
Oh, yeah.
especially like shields or revives or something like that. Like when we were doing that arena,
WA space.
That-
WA space.
we were just screaming at each other like when we were so we were doing the arena at the LAN and I've only successfully made it through arena twice
Yeah.
on that fucking
Sounds about right.
first arena and yeah, we're doing it. All of a sudden, someone would die, and then you would just hear screaming over everyone else screaming at what to do.
Yeah,
you
there's
hear
not screaming.
WA space, WA space, WA space, because WA space is the revive
Yeah.
button. And if you hit, space, and it would try to revive
Right.
somebody. So
Because usually if somebody died, it probably means they weren't alone. Probably a
Right.
couple of people died. And if everyone dies, then
and then you
that's
have the
it.
bad shit that happens. So like someone would fucking like have like a boulder that was just straight up water and spray everybody.
Yeah.
And then somebody has lightning bolt and they just fucking crumble your body. And yeah.
And God help you.
That game is so incredibly
Oh,
fun
man.
with
Fuck.
multiplayer.
Oh, I did have a lot of fun in it when we played
Oh, yeah.
it.
Fuck, I want to just close the stream and just play that
And
for
just
the
fucking
next
play Magicka.
year. God, I love that fucking
Every
game.
time we need to play it at more lands is what we need to do. We need to get a Magicka at least
one
one
coming?
Magicka
Yeah.
in every land.
He does.
So.
He does.
I do
yeah.
have one coming
The
up.
weekend after Extra Life.
Yes.
Do you?
Yep.
Birthday.
Your birthday.
Old school land.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
And by old school, we're playing all modern games.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Oh yeah, depth. You get depth.
I
yet?
did pick
You
up
get
Depth.
I have not picked up Depth
Depth
yet.
is a lot. Okay, so here's the problem we're having with now
Too busy
that I've been
playing
having.
WoW.
Like, we'll jump into it for a couple of games real quick as like a cooldown from either league if somebody gets frustrated, or we'll just do it as like something because a lot of us have it now.
Yeah.
You'll go in and like all of us have played maybe 100 games, so we kind of understand how to play. And you'll get two guys that are like, "Hey, we're gonna play Sharks." It's like cool. And then you look, it's like you guys have played 12,000 games as just the Shark. And,
Yeah, so
and
I'm
they
sure
just
fucking
rip your
yeah.
team
Yep.
to freaking
I'm
pieces.
sure they just
God.
decimate you.
We've been hitting a lot of that, so a lot of the people, I guess because the queues are really small at certain times that we're playing, it's just like, oh my god, we'll run into the same dudes like 5-6 times out of 20 games.
Oh, man.
It's like, this time you play divers. You guys play divers. And
for
then,
once.
And then the Sharks lose horribly.
Yep.
You run into that a lot, like when I play Hearthstone, because like I'll be doing a game or something. I'm not very low
Sorry.
rank, so I'll get like to 15 or 16.
Sorry.
Right. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Trash talking with emotes is the best way to go. So like, I'm at like rank 15 or 15 or 14 or whatever, and I'll be playing and I'll be on a fucking streak, and I'm like, oh, this is going great.
Oh.
Like I'm doing great. And then I'll come up and then I'll see this golden portrait. So when the other person has a golden portrait, it means that they've won 500 ranked games as that character.
It means you should stop.
And I'm like, okay, all right. And I think I've only like twice beat a person with a golden portrait.
Nice.
Um,
But those victories probably felt really good.
They felt great. I was like, eat shit, motherfucker.
Damn!
And I was like,
Sorry!
sorry. Yeah. Sorry. When is Extra Life anyways,
Yeah,
Alex?
I love
plug.
D-Man's comment because like he hears me. I don't shut the fuck up about Extra Life ever. I think I mention it every stream.
I can't wait for Extra Life this year.
I'm
fun.
excited.
I'm fun.
I'm
fun.
I am fun. I am fun. Just rename the name
Oh,
tag.
Jesus.
Actually, as a bit of a milestone today, just today they crossed over $2 million in donations.
Yeah.
At this point last year, they had, I think, just squeaked by $1 million. So we're doing fucking great. We're already, I mean, we're probably going to beat last year's record of $6 million.
Very awesome.
Probably.
I know for a
They made
fact.
it over Worlds. That impressed me
Yeah,
alone. The
they
fact
did.
that there was an Extra Life plug at the opening of Worlds, like when the first day when it opened for the first
Really?
10 minutes,
Yeah.
there's a giant donation counter at
Yep.
the bottom of the World screen.
That is so.
I was like,
absolutely
wow, I
awesome.
didn't expect to see that. I got really excited.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I texted
You
him
did.
right away.
You
I
did.
was like, dude, League's doing this
Yeah.
now. Like, yeah, no, it was cool to see
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Extra Life is going to be November 7th this year, so it's coming up. We got a few more weeks, man. It'll be a Saturday.
2 weekend, 24-hour lands in a row. Come on,
Yeah.
if I can do it, you can do it.
Well, I mean, in addition to the game day, most of my free time has been Extra Life with the whole guild thing.
Alex has given up his Extra Life for Extra Life.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not doing the land anymore.
Yeah.
So not for Extra Life, at least. I'll be at whatever game shop we're at there for the whole 24 hours.
Oof.
So I'll be doing that
No
because
break?
president
Oh, well.
of the guild, you gotta be there. So I'll be doing that for this year and probably next year as
I
well.
don't think we're doing a LAN either, so I might come visit whatever game
Yeah.
shop you happen to be.
It'll be the
working in.
Microsoft Store in the Galleria.
Oh, so you are doing it there again?
Yeah.
So that is
Alright,
okay.
well,
Okay. Cool. Very
That's
cool.
easy to find.
It'll be fun times, right, buddy?
What was the next topic?
Next topic. Let's do. So I read this article that you posted earlier. It was Xbox unlikely to catch up to PS4, and
Yes.
I thought to myself, and I was like, is this true? Because I guess I've never really followed the
Probably.
race.
Mhm.
But then I realized that everyone that I've talked to, like my friends, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I have a PS4, and they'll be
Yep.
like, what do you have? And they're like, oh yeah, I got PS4 too.
Yep.
And it now makes sense.
Yep.
None of my friends own an Xbox One.
I know a few.
I know a couple too. They don't use them, and I've had my hands on both, and I can tell you, there's a big difference in the performance. It's kind of surprising to me.
Really?
Like,
Really?
usually to me, when those consoles come out, especially with PlayStation and Xbox, they're comparable to a point where I don't notice any difference.
Yeah.
This time around, noticeable slower on the Xbox. Loading things is slower. From what I understand, they used an old tech for the bus on it.
Really?
Yeah, my buddy Brian was trying to explain to me because they,
Oh, yeah.
they started talking about these external hard drives that people have been adding to the Xbox to make it faster.
Yeah.
To like basically bypass
An
one of the
external?
yes to bypass the really
Wow.
slow bus speed.
That's
That's
impressive.
And it's just like, okay. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, I upgraded my Xbox and it had noticeably faster load times. Then he starts going into the process of how he did that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you shouldn't have to do
Yeah,
that with
I
a
agree.
console.
No.
I agree. And
Like,
it's
the
saved
whole
us-
point of a console is I'd like my computer in a box with ease, please,
Yeah.
at an affordable rate with games that'll work on
Yeah.
it. It's like, okay, cool, that's what a console's supposed to be.
Yeah. I should
I
have
just-
to fuck with it.
And then, yeah, I've heard a lot better things about PS4. You know, I'm more of a PC guy, I don't really console,
Right.
but I definitely have friends that talk about it, so I've read the articles and things, and yeah, it really sounds like Microsoft might not be like
Not
up
quite
to
there.
par this time around, but I also don't think they're like bombing totally. They still
No.
have their hardcore fan base.
Oh, yeah,
They're still
Halo
doing fine.
5 is coming. There's gonna be
Alright,
a
yes.
like, I'll admit, I didn't play Halo 4.
Mm.
I'm still invested in the story, so I did watch all the cutscenes on
I did too.
YouTube so that
Yep.
I knew
I
what
played
happened.
Halo 4. I pretty much only played.
I
for
might
the
play Halo 5 now, because I have a buddy who has an Xbox One, and he's invited me to a midnight playthrough if I want to play, and I was like, to be honest, I haven't done that since, like, Halo Reach.
Yeah.
And I would not mind, because we used to, every game, it'd come out midnight, we'd go get it, sit down, Legendary, till the end of the game.
Yep.
Nobody was allowed to go to sleep until we beat it on Legendary. I regretted that with Reach.
Sure.
But
Reach
you know
was
what?
probably the last really good Halo game.
For single player, I'll agree. For multiplayer, before they included armor powers. When Halo was
Oh.
still Halo and not trying to be something else.
4 made
Right.
that better. I think they did
I
better.
wasn't big on it.
4? Ooh, no. Multiplayer 4?
I think
Never
I
got
think
to play
I
it.
liked it better than Reach.
Did you?
Yeah.
The issue I had with multiplayer in 4 is I believed it was too close to Call of Duty. I don't like loadouts.
Well, I mean,
I
yeah.
really
See,
do
that's
not
me
like
too. Like, I'm a traditionalist with Halo. I don't like loadouts.
I
Yeah.
like
You start with
going
a battle
out
rifle and the pistol, and you find your shit.
and you find your shit. I like going out and finding guns on the map.
Yeah.
And I like being able to pick up other people's weapons if
Yeah.
they have something better.
Like, knowing the power weapons. Like, even just watching Halo played at a professional level, like the
Yeah.
guys that play at MLG, the way they strategize is not so like now it's the kits, and then it just looked to me, as he said, it really just looks like Call of Duty now versus
it
what it
does.
used to be, where it was like they knew the positions they had to like strategically get to and
Yep.
counter the other
Right.
team from getting for the power weapons. Where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, that meant more to me. That was more positioning. That made
Yep.
Halo almost on that whole nother level
It
than
did.
another
It
first
did.
person
It
shooter.
really did.
When they took that away, it was like it's just another first person shooter to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it totally is.
Halo 2 was the pinnacle, I think, of their multiplayer.
And the most fun to watch. Other
it
people
was their
play.
yeah, it really was.
Like, to watch somebody do, like, to watch Fatality play it, to watch, even watch from some of my friends that were just really good at that game play it. and go to, like, we would travel places just to see if they could beat that place's
Yep.
champion, because it was before the real professional
Right.
stuff.
I still remember some names. I remember Ogre 1 and Ogre 2. Like, they were twins. And they had some fucking serious psychic fucking abilities.
Oh, yeah.
Because holy shit, did they fucking know how to play.
What? The one guy who had the big torrent site that got torn down, a big old fat dude, made tons of money, used to laugh about it. He was like an MLG style player. 'Cause-
Really?
Something.com.
Yes,
Kim.com.
Kim.com. That dude apparently, like, he was a world-renowned Call of Duty player under a different moniker. Cause
I
of
just
course-
downloaded the WoW client from Mega.com, so yeah, that's his website.
Nice.
I learned a little bit about him because there was some projects where my sister did anthropology for a while and had to study a video game culturist, and she chose
Nice.
of all people, and she comes to me and asks me about him, and I had to be like, I have no idea who that is. Let me
Yeah,
go Google
right.
that for you and see
So
who that
Kim.com
is.
was a
Apparently,
big-time
really
MLG?
in Call of Duty. Apparently, was his.
I
name.
believe it.
Like
I
he
believe
broke a lot of records or something.
Damn.
But I mean, you watch the videos and it's like, oh, it's because he sat there for 26
Yeah.
hours a day. You know,
26 hours.
26 hours a day. There were
You
2
heard it
extra
right.
hours a
There's
day.
Is that MLG? 2
2
MLG for you.
He actually lived in upper atmosphere where the time per day is a little longer.
He would just sit
He
on a
went to the
plane.
international space. Or yeah, he was on a plane
Yeah.
flying backwards. Get him them extra hours.
Oh my god. D-Man, never a
Love it.
Halo fan. Halo, I don't know. Halo has such an amazing story to it. I
It
think
does.
that's probably the best part it has.
I argue a lot of us are legacy fans. Like me, I have no interest in the games anymore. It's purely because I started on Halo 1.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I got an Xbox, me and my friends was like, hey, this is something new. It's not GoldenEye. Like, check this out. And
Yeah.
it was like,
Really
this is a lot of fun. Oh, you can play it together on like 4 Xboxes with 16 people, and it's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That led to some fights.
It
Yes.
did. It fucking did.
But yeah, that was like the traditional LAN days for us. Well, you know, WWE, Raw, and the 64.
No.
I can still think of some other
Yeah.
games that definitely
Yeah.
got played in groups where controllers were broken.
Yes, and people's faces.
Mostly controllers.
We
not
played a
groups.
lot of Halo at like local LAN like places. So like there was
Yeah.
people,
School.
there was physical shops that had Xboxes set up to
Oh,
fucking
man.
LAN.
I remember that.
I have to point out, we did play in school. We
Oh,
played
yeah, we
Halo. We played, what else did we get away with?
We fucking
Battlefield?
We played it, by the way,
1942?
all off a flash drive.
Yes. All of the games we
We played Halo and we played Battlefield 1942, which was melting those machines, by the way.
Which-
It was fucking hot as shit in that room.
You know what's great though? The best part of it all is having the teacher play with us. Like the couple of
Yes.
times he decided
Awesome.
to play.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of memories from that school
Played
that had
Red Al-
nothing to do with
We
school
played
for
Red
me.
Alert 2
Command-
on the
yeah.
NX PCs.
And Mr.
Very
Ham always ability. Well, he heard it. Like he listened to us play a whole bunch of times, so he played Korea, which we all ruled
Yes.
that no one could play Korea. But since it was the teacher, nobody was like, you can't play Korea.
Yeah.
And of course, he listened to everybody, so he heard the planes are OP. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes our teacher with this
Yep.
army of goddamn planes.
Yeah. It was great. And we all had our own shit we did. So like Brad always made fucking Chrono Troopers. And
No.
I fucking made I don't remember what I was always. I think I was just trying to clone shit from the fucking cloning pads. And then Amjad always only made dogs. He only had dog armies.
You would hear.
And sometimes they would fucking work. It was the worst.
Well, because like Brad would come in with infantry, so they'd all die to the dogs. I hated when Brad would attack though, because you would be sitting there, and then all of a sudden he's like, "That's a really nice base you have." You're like attacking someone else, and then all of a sudden half your production options
Right, you're just like, "Oh, fuck."
disappear. You're like, "Brad's attacking me."
That
Oh.
game is incredibly fun.
Oh,
and Red
man.
Alert 2 was one of the better Red Alert games. Like,
That's awesome.
or Command and Conquer, I should say. I think my favorite Command and Conquer game is game is Generals. I think Generals is
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go with Tiberium Sun because
Tiberium Sun's fun.
Like, I also have memories of it. Like when Warcraft, the original Warcraft came out, I raced my dad through it. When Warcraft 2 came out, I raced my dad through it. The last game we raced through was Tiberian Sun, and then
That's
he didn't have
awesome.
time for strategy games.
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
He did. He just stopped.
Right, okay, I'm fucking done.
Yeah. These video game things.
Yeah.
I think it's because he can't. Like I've watched, he can't watch a screen for more than like 30, 40 minutes anymore. And he's just
okay.
like, it's like, all right, cool, let's
No,
go play a
I
board
understand,
game.
yeah.
He loves board games.
Yeah.
It's nice to have like things that you can do with your parents
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Cards Against Humanity, by the way, with your parents. terrific experience with alcohol.
Yes.
Probably would have been horribly awkward without it.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those moments where it's like, me and my dad are totally laughing about Big Black Dick right now,
Yep.
and we think it's hilarious,
Yep.
and it's cool. He just learned something about me.
And I him.
Awesome.
It's a bonding experience.
No, he's the Halo fan comment.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
but yeah.
Smash Bros thing. You definitely should touch on that before you run out of
Right,
time.
so this will be the last one we'll do.
Sure.
Let's touch on 6 more Smash Bros. Character slots. Who will they add? Hype!
Hype.
Yeah.
Choo
That's
choo,
awesome.
motherfucker.
So this is going to be an all Alex topic because he knows.
Really? I was gonna say, did you have any thought on it? Any guys that come to?
I really
to
don't.
mind?
Yeah,
I had a funny one. The root beer tapper. Just as a throwback to classic, really classic arcade games.
you are stretching. You are really fucking
Yeah.
stretching to try to.
But you know what? Like, I kind of sat and thought about it. It'd be an interesting thing to do.
It would.
Right.
Well, they did. To me, they
I
kind of
want
blew me away
Cubert.
with it. Cubert. Okay, yeah, that. You know
Yeah.
what though? There are ways you could put him in there.
There are.
I can think of like Cubert would actually be easier to do.
I want Pac-Man.
Spy Hunter.
They already have Pac-Man.
Do they?
They totally do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want
Your
the guy.
wish is granted.
I want the guy from Siphon Filter.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Wow, that's a name drop. Wow.
Gabe.
Siphon
Wasn't his
Filter.
name Gabe?
I think
Gabe
so.
Bell?
No, but I think his name was.
would
I think his
Gabe.
name was Gabe. Yeah. Siphon Filter. I played 1 and 2.
I played all three of
Siphon
them.
Filter.
And the
Oh,
only
man.
thing you ever use is the little taser to shock them
Pretty
to
much,
a
yeah.
freaking crisp every time. Oh,
I haven't played Smash in forever.
Forevers.
Yeah.
Forever. I haven't played Smash. The only time I really play Smash is when you bring
As
it,
a plan,
and
yeah.
I
When I bring it, motherfucker.
thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah.
It's
Last
just a
time
good party game for
It is.
sure.
Yeah.
It's actually one that I don't see a lot of anger because none of us are good at it. So like,
Right.
I've watched people who are. I didn't realize there was that level of Smash Brothers.
Oh,
There is.
God.
There was a very high level of Smash.
I
There's
thought Smash
so
Brother
many.
was really just like one of those. This is a party fighting game. It
Yep.
doesn't have the timings and stuff of like a Tekken. And then I watched like a World Tournament. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know Fox could move that fast.
Right.
Like so fast that they're not even fighting on the damn map
Yep,
anymore.
yep.
It's just like what?
There's a lot of off-edge fighting.
Yeah.
Like there's a piss ton of that.
that is a whole like school of fighting in Smash Bros. Is edge. Not so much edge guarding, just edge fighting.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool. Like I like watching things at that level of
Oh,
play.
yeah.
I didn't realize there was so much trash talk at such a high
Oh,
level.
God.
For fuck's sake, I was trying to watch
It's
a tournament. I was like,
obnoxious.
man, these fucking people. It was more cringeworthy than anything.
Yeah, it
whenever you
kinda
watch it,
is.
like it
have you
really
read,
is.
Have you ever read League Chat?
No.
Okay,
I'm sure
like-
it's close to fucking Dota 2 chat.
Oh, I bet they're really people are really mad at you.
I've
if
played
you make
100
a
and-
slight mistake.
I played, I think, 160 hours of like Dota 2. So.
Then you totally know it's like, oh, you missed that skill shot.
Right.
Well, now you're the biggest piece of shit in the world
Right,
to
yeah,
everyone for the rest of the
That
game.
those games are a fucking plague.
I love the games. I just wish the community.
The community
got more...
is fucking. They're just nothing but. They're just a bunch of fucking just shit. They're just potatoes. Is what they
Shit
are.
We're
potatoes.
totally not on the Smash Brothers.
Don't worry, just
I
keep
derailed
going.
We'll
this
get there.
so
Well, no,
hard.
that
We always do.
all
This
the
is what we do.
Yeah,
We just derail every
I
time.
understand. Okay,
The
so
train just keeps moving.
Yep.
Okay. Ray
ballot
Train has
for
no
the new
brakes.
characters. You know, I thought I saw a voting thing, but I don't know how official that was, or if that was just
Who
a,
ended up number 1 on that? By the way.
So yeah, John's right. They did do an official ballot, and it was official by Nintendo, and they have told us nothing about it, which
means
to me,
that- yeah.
is, no, which to me is very exciting. I'm glad
Right.
they haven't. I do know that there have been a number of like message boards would put out like who do you want in Smash, and they would take like what are believed to be a lot of the front runners, and some of the fairly obvious ones have been on the top spots. Shovel Knight is always somewhere along the top. Bomberman, who's
He would
my,
make an incredibly good Smash.
I think
character.
so. I think
He's
I think
got
he would.
very like his moveset in the game would
Mhm.
mimic pretty well.
Oh yeah,
to the-
totally. It would be an easy conversion.
Yeah.
I think fairly easy. Versus Duck Hunt. I think
want
they had to
Candy
really stretch
Kong.
for that.
Duck Hunt would be hard. I'm sitting here thinking like, man, I know all these classic characters who would be really hard to
Yeah.
translate in,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like the Pitfall guy.
Yeah,
Like, there
good
you go.
call.
There's
That could
somebody. Everybody knows who he is,
Yeah.
but like, he doesn't have a name. He's just the Pitfall,
Pitfall,
guy.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
Pitfall's a hard as
It
fucking
is.
God,
It is.
yeah,
a
it was.
hard
I remember getting that game at like Blockbuster and putting it in, and like dying 3 times, and be like, "Can we go back to Blockbuster and say it doesn't work? I just want to go trade it in for
Right.
like something."
A good
easier."
I played it on my uncle's Sega Genesis, and
Oh,
I was just
man.
like, I cannot play this game.
It's fucking.
I
impossible.
literally told him I
Oh.
can't fucking play. I said that to him.
I came in here, his Smash Bros. Sense was tingling.
Yeah, it was.
But no, I do know that Shovel Knight has been along the top of the list. And one thing I was regaling these guys when we were getting ready to start is that they it's pretty much been confirmed that there are 6 new character slots that have been added with this latest patch. And this time they were smarter about like how it was coded, such that they didn't have anything that gave it away as to who these 6 would be. But there have been reports that like it would show like a list of like games that each amiibo is compatible with. There is a Shovel Knight amiibo, and in some places Smash Bros shows up on that list. So not confirmed, not like anything official, but it's looking pretty good.
Sounds exciting.
If I were a betting man, I would bet on Shovel Knight as being one of the 6. We'll see.
I
We'll
can't
see.
think of characters. I can think of some cool ideas for items, though.
Yeah.
Like, you could include Paperboy in an item. Something like
Ooh,
one of those
that could be
trophies
cool.
that
That would
does,
be
like,
cool.
the
Yeah.
ride throws papers
Yeah.
or something.
That could be cool.
Same thing with, like I said, Root Beer Tapper. That would be another fun one
That
just
would
to
be-
do,
yeah,
like,
oh, that'd
as
be
an
so
item.
bizarre.
That would be
instead of
very cool if you like sat at the edge of a level and
through just Root Beer down the level,
Right.
kind of like the shells or whatever. It
Yeah,
would
that would
treat
be
like
really
a
cool.
shell.
I think it'd be good. Yeah.
So see, yeah, okay, so all of my ideas really translate more to items than characters.
Which is
Right.
legit. Which is
Like-
totally
But
legit.
yeah, it just throws to a lot of those old Nintendo games that are memorable that really Nintendo has to have the rights to them because they were too generic
Probably.
to be like a thing. There wasn't like a theme to them other than I think they played them on arcade. You could play
Yeah.
it like almost arcade game style.
Yeah, I mean Namco has a lot of those rights. I think Atari has some of them. But I mean, they'd
What
be able to
about-
swing it.
Banjo.
Banjo-Kazooie, that's never happened on Smash Bros. Never.
Never?
No, I'm convinced. Rare would never do
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
okay,
fucking
rare.
it. Yeah, they would. Well, rather Microsoft would never allow it.
Right.
I would sooner.
God, that would be
I would,
so fucking
I would
good
sooner
too.
expect Geno to appear from some Super Mario RPG,
Yeah.
and that's always number 2 on the
Actually, that's
list.
pretty good. Gino would be.
It would, but it's never gonna happen because it's Square Enix.
Oh fuck yeah. Good
So,
luck.
yeah,
Good fucking luck.
I would sooner expect that to happen.
You might get luck if you agree that Square Enix can use some of your characters in one of their crazy creations. Maybe. They do like to do the weird crossover
They do.
stuff.
They do only. In
Only
Kingdom
but it was like, okay, fair. They're the video game studio. They went and did something with Disney. Well, why can't? I mean, yeah, I guess it's hard for big studios to agree to do things.
Well,
It is because there's a lot of
There
stipulations.
was that
between
time
them.
when Warner Brothers worked with Disney and made Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
They did.
They had characters from
Oh, yeah.
both,
Yeah.
which was it's like, and you know that's a really memorable classic movie that
It
a
is.
lot of people know. And you think about it, it's
That
like,
is a very good movie.
that was
I
two
think.
people though, the 2 big studios that came together enough to agree that hey, this would be cool.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that more. We just don't these days because there's a lot more competition.
Right. Well, the thing with both of those examples is that was Disney giving stuff. Square
Yes.
Enix was only taking. They've never given.
Square Enix has never given back. To
And
Disney.
they
Even when
probably
you go
will.
to
Well, that's
Disney,
stingy.
there's nothing
It is.
Square there. Like they
really
can't
stingy.
merchandise
It is.
anything. Or
They should
anything.
totally be like, we're gonna make a Kingdom Hearts world, and people
Oh,
will
God.
love it.
That would be
and
awesome.
Unfortunately, that won't ever happen.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, Square Enix is. I mean, this is the kind of company where, like, if someone does like a Let's Play of a new Final Fantasy game, they'll issue takedown
D-Man's
notices.
leaving.
Yep.
So,
Oh, have a
Bye,
good one,
D-Man.
D-Man.
later, dude. But yeah, Square Enix. I mean, I would love to be proven wrong, but their history has shown that
Suggested that won't
they're
happen.
not capable of
No.
like offering any sort of olive branch
Which
as a
is
cooperation.
just weird.
Speaking on the
Yeah.
part of Disney,
International
like
company too.
I
Yeah,
really wish
yeah.
Disney would have got a part of Square Enix's stuff because like when I was at
That'd be
Disney, back in August,
Mm.
like the artwork that they have like commissioned for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Is it good?
My God, it's so good.
Nice.
And if it didn't cost $400 fucking for a giant portrait, I would have bought one because there was one of Boba Fett that looked fucking flawless.
Sweet.
It looked so awesome.
Oh man,
Yeah, so
That's
I
tasty.
wish they could do that to like commission that art because
that'd be
like,
cool.
I'm kind of happy Disney took. Like, if anybody had to take over Star Wars,
Oh yeah,
that was the right company.
I have faith.
They're
in
about to
Disney.
lay the hammer down actually.
Oh.
I forgot to put it in the thing, but Disney stated I think today that they are now going to be overseeing all video games creation. So like they're going to be overseeing like the story and aspects of that. So
Ah, interesting.
basically, they don't want another shitty game, is what they've stated.
Something we can all
They
aspire
and
towards.
I'm getting there goes expanded universe.
Oh yeah, oh that was
It's-
Genesis.
I just love
Expanded
that.
Universe is fucking gone.
I know. I just
buddy.
love it though. That it's just there
Yeah.
goes all that work that everybody
Yep.
put in.
That was actually officially jettisoned, I guess, a year or two ago. When it
That was
first
like when they
yeah.
first did it. They were like,
That was the first thing they did.
people were like, "What about Extended Universe?" And they're like, "Well,
eject and just
Right.
We didn't
They
have any
never-
creative part of that, so we're just gonna get rid of that.
Yeah.
they never stated that they're getting rid of it. They just said that they were whatever they say is canon,
Yeah.
not what anyone else says.
Well, it's ours now.
I trust Disney though.
I
That's
do.
the
Yeah.
thing.
They
Disney
haven't let me down on too much.
has pretty fucking good quality when it comes to actually getting good directors and getting good writers.
They've made, 6 Pirates movies now? I still watch them.
I still watch them all.
I know.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
that it's like, man, this is one of those sequels that I gotta go see.
And it won't die. Pirates will not
It's
fucking
like,
die.
no, it's like Johnny Depp. Could you put on this wig at 80 and still be Jack Sparrow, just less drunk now? Now he's more like
And he's like, I'm already in outfit. I'm glad you called. And
Yeah.
I'm standing outside your office.
Yep.
like,
I'm looking at you right now. Yeah.
turn around. I'm right behind you.
yes.
I am the phone.
That would be fucking. This needs to be a comic. Yeah. This just needs to come out.
Well, that was not Smash Brothers characters once again.
No.
But I do want is fucking Candy Kong. Just put her in for me. Come on.
With tasteful artistic
Clothing?
liberty.
Yes.
There we go. That's what we'll call
Yeah.
it. We'll call it that.
I want jiggle physics.
Good. Rated E, or I guess T now. Probably T. Yeah.
Yeah, Jiggle Physics equals T.
Oh no, I'm saying it's already T.
Did I
So-
tell you about the? Yeah, I told you about the benchmark we did, right? The
Yes,
video game benchmark.
yes.
That
So I've heard.
ratings?
they've purposely put in jiggle physics.
Mm.
They could have used a man, by the way,
They
as the
could've.
model.
They
They
could've.
did not.
No, of course
No,
not.
they did not. They used a woman with very tight spandex
I mean,
as the model.
because how else are you gonna measure the?
And there was a lot of jiggle physics, unnecessary
Oh, yeah.
jiggle
like
physics.
unrealistic,
Like
gravity defying.
when she was doing this like fucking what is it, a glide suit.
Oh, you were watching that too? I used that to calibrate my video card.
It's 3D Mark.
Yeah.
Dude, she was doing the glide suit, and I was like, okay, her ass is jiggling way too much for right now. I cannot handle
Are
it.
there no bones anywhere? What's going
I don't
on?
think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
She was not made of any. She was fucking just straight meat. Like, that's all she was. Meat and jiggle.
It's true.
That's the sexiest sentence I've heard all day.
So,
Well, on that sexy note, want to go ahead and
yeah,
call it? We're a little bit over.
we'll polish it off. So,
10
thanks everybody
minutes.
for coming out and chatting, and
Thanks to Adam for joining.
thanks for
Yay, it
joining.
was fun.
Yep.
It was
good.
fun. So, and
Thanks to Dexter.
yes, we'll get him a
Wiggle one?
nameplate.
Yeah.
And next week, we will be back on Tuesday.
Actual
They will.
Tuesday.
I think.
They will be back.
Probably.
Right.
Probably.
Yes. Alex and I will be back on Tuesday.
Yep.
So, and till then, we'll see you all.
Till
later.
then, we'll leave you with more.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We're leaving with music.
More Dwayne and Brando, baby.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep, good shit. Good shit. Let's see if I still have it up. We're gonna treat you with some Sanic. Later, bros.
Sanic.
Bros and brodettes.